We are the 100% Hebrew Israelites. All praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, spreading the good news throughout the world. And Shalom unto the Ark, pushing the words to a hopeful elect to the four corners of the earth. Reading from Numbers chapter 25, starting at verse 1. And Israel abode in Chittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods, and the people did eat and bow down to their gods. And Israel joined himself unto Baal-peor, and the anger of the Lord Yahweh was kindled against Israel. Going to Job. I made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I think upon a maid? Going to the book of Psalms, chapter 141. Okay, start at verse 4. And it says, Incline not my heart to any evil thing, to practice wicked works with men that work iniquity, and let me not eat of their dainties. Going from Psalms 141, verse 8, starting at verse 8. Verse 8. But my eyes are unto thee, O Yahweh, the Lord, my power. In thee is my trust. Leave not my soul destitute. Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me, and the gins of the workers of iniquity. Let the wicked fall into their own nets, whilst that I withdraw, escape. Going to Proverbs 6, beginning at verse 25, and it reads, Lust not after her beauty in thy heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. For by means of a whorish woman a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Going to Proverbs 6:32. But whoso committed adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. Going to Proverbs 7, verse 27, and it reads, Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. Going to the book of Isaiah, chapter 57, and we'll start at verse 4. And it reads, Against whom do ye sport yourselves? Against whom make ye a wide mouth and draw out the tongue? Are ye not the children of transgression, a seed of falsehood? Inflaming yourselves with idols under every green tree, slaying the children in the valley under the cliffs of the rocks. Going to Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, starting at verse 3. Therefore the showers have been withholden, and there hath been no latter rain, and thou hast a whore's forehead that refuses to be ashamed. Jeremiah 3, starting at verse 9. And it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. And yet for all this her treacherous sister Judah hath not turned unto me with her whole heart, but faintly saith the Lord Yahweh. Reading from Proverbs chapter 5. Starting at verse 8. And it reads, Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest thou give thy honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Proverbs 5, and we'll start at verse 22, reads, His own iniquity shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sins. He shall die without instruction, and in greatness of his folly he shall go astray. Ezekiel, going to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 6, start at verse 9. And it reads, And they that escaped of you shall remember me among the nations, whither they shall be carried captives, because I am broken with their whorish heart, which hath departed from me, and with their eyes, which go a whoring after their idols, and they shall loathe themselves for the evils which they have committed in all their abominations. Going to Ezekiel 6, starting at verse 10. And they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, and that I have not said in vain that I would do this evil unto them. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Smite with thy hand, and stamp with thy foot, and say, Alas, for all the evil abominations of the house of Israel, for they shall fall by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. Going to Ezekiel chapter 20, We'll go to verse 7, and it reads, Then said I unto them, Cast ye away every man the abomination of his eyes, and defile not yourselves with the idols of Egypt. I am the Lord Yahweh your power. But they rebelled against me, and would not hearken unto me. They did not, every man, cast away the abominations of their eyes, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them, to accomplish my anger against them in the midst of the land of Egypt. Go to Ezekiel 22, verse 11, and this reads, And one hath committed abomination with his neighbor's wife, and another hath lewdly defiled his daughter-in-law, and another in thee hath humbled his sister, his father's daughter. And going to Ezekiel 23, starting at verse 23. And it reads, The Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pekah and Shuah and Koah, and all the Assyrians with them, all of them desirable young men, captains and rulers, great lords and renowned, all of them riding upon horses. Going to Ezekiel, same book, chapter 23, and we're going to read from 27. Thus will I make thy lewdness to cease from thee, and thy whoredom brought from the land of Egypt, so that thou shalt not lift up thine eyes unto them, nor remember Egypt any more. Going to Ezekiel chapter 23, I'll go verse 17, and it reads, And the Babylonians came to her into the bed of love, and they defiled her with their whoredom, and she was polluted with them, and her mind was alienated from them. So she discovered her whoredom and discovered her nakedness. Then my mind was alienated from her, like as my mind was alienated from her sister. We're going to go to the book of Matthew 5. Okay, verses 27, starting at verse 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. Romans, going to the book of Romans, chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 24. And it reads, Wherefore Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. Who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forevermore, ever. For this cause Yahweh gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. We're going to the book Romans 1, reading from verse 28. And even as they did not like to retain Yahweh in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of Yahweh, despiteful, proud, boaster, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents. Going to Romans 7, verse 5. For when we were in the flesh, the motions of sins, which were by the law, did work in our members to bring forth fruit unto death. But now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we were held, that we should serve in newness of spirit, and not in the oldness of the letter. Romans 13. Starting at verse 13. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying. But put ye on the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. Going to Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. And it reads, This I say, then walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary to one and to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. In Galatians 5, verse 22, it reads, Shalakia. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. I'm going to Ephesians 4. Let's see, verse 22. And it reads that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man which after Yahweh is created in righteousness and true holiness. Wherefore, putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. Go to the book of Colossians. Let's see, chapter 3, verse 5, and it reads, Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil, concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. Going to Colossians 3, going to verse 10. And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. Going to Colossians, same chapter, at verse 12. Put on therefore as the elect of Yahweh holy and beloved bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Hamashiach forgave you, so also do ye. And above all these things put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. And let the peace of Yahweh rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. Let the word of Hamashiach dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord Yahweh Shai. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to Yahweh and the Father by him. Going to James 1, reading from verse 4. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Going to James, same chapter, going to chapter 4 of James, starting at 2. Ye lust and have not, ye kill and desire to have, and cannot obtain. Ye fight and war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not. Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lusts. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Yahweh? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of Yahweh. Do ye think that the scripture saith in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy? But he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, Yahweh resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to Yahweh, and resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh to Yahweh, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord Yahweh Shai, and he shall lift you up. Shlakia. Going to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul. Then we go to 2 Peter's chapter 2, starting at verse 10. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness, and despise government, presumptuous are they, self-willed, they are not afraid to speak evil of dignities, whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusations against them before the Lord Yahweh Shai. But these, as natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to riot in the daytime spots they are, and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceiving, while they feast with you, having eyes full of adultery, and that cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls, and a heart they have exercised with covetous practices, curse children, which have forsaken the right way, and are gone astray, following the way of Balaam the son of Bozar, who loved the wages of unrighteousness, but was rebuked for his iniquity. The dumb ass, speaking with man's voice, forbade the madness of the prophets. Shalakia. I'm reading from, let's start at 1 John chapter 2. Let's start at verse 16. And it reads, For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. Little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard that anti-Hamashiach shall come, even now are there many anti-Hamashiachs, whereby we know that it is the last time. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not at all of us. But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things. I have not written unto you because ye know not the truth, but because ye know it, and that no lie is of the truth. Written on to Revelations 14. I'm going to start at verse 4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruit unto Yahweh and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Yahweh. We give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Baha Shem, Yahushai, Baha Shem, Ha, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, spreading the good news of the gospel throughout the world. Salutations to a hopeful elect, pushing the word to the four corners of the earth. Until next time, brothers, shalom and dear to the end.